Reframing Scotland's economy. Let's have another look at what's actually happening here. First thing we need to understand is what GERS is. GERS stands for Government Expenditure and Revenue Scotland. It's an accounting tool by which Westminster is able to keep Scotland in shackles. This is done by attributing debt to Scotland. GERS can be considered the Union's weaponised narrative. It is described as the Union's only economic weapon and is annually used by the UK press to claim Scotland is too poor, too dependent or too small to stand on its own 2 feet. The actual fact that the Scottish Government publishes GERS has actually been described as an act of economic self-sabotage, as it gives opposition ammunition against independence. It also gives a somewhat misleading financial picture of where Scotland stands at this moment in time. The report is distorted by the inclusion of expenditures that an independent Scotland would not incur or control, such as a percentage of the UK government borrowing unrelated to Scotland, defence costs that would not be applicable to an independent Scotland, interest on debt an independent Scotland would not have needed, and the share of the UK debt for projects that are concentrated in the south east of England, such as HS2. So, what is it possible to do? If the Scottish Government decided not to publish GERS, then Westminster's office in Scotland would be likely to publish an even more distorted version. That would not be helpful. It's also needed for a more strategic idea as to how to pick up more undecided voters. One idea is to publish 3 reports: an Scottish GERS, a UK GERS and an independent GERS. The Scottish GERS would be a report on the devolved Scotland's revenues and expenditure, demonstrating the sound management of Scotland's balanced public finances under the current limited powers. The UK GERS would be as is. This would highlight the UK accounts applied to Scotland and demonstrate how Westminster's mismanagement inflates the supposed Scottish deficit. The Independence GERS, IGERS, would be a forward-looking report based on an independent Scotland. It would show Scotland's finances would perform with full powers over taxation, spending, investment, and while utilising a well-being economic approach. The IGERS proposal would be grounded in the well-being economic approach presented as a framework for an independent Scotland's brighter economic future. The IGERS would give a move away from the old core principle of growth at all costs model and focus on quality of life, sustainability, equality and long-term prosperity. The new metrics for success, it would be not just the growth of the GDP, but outcomes such as secure jobs, healthy communities, affordable energy and a thriving environment. This is an approach already seen in Scotland by the Scottish Government, the Scottish Greens and the Believe in Scotland campaign. The IGERS report would be built on these principles and therefore would show a different future, proving independence as a step towards a fairer, better run economy. With the IGERS report, we would look to advance the cause of Scottish independence by reframing the economic narrative and building public confidence. This would be done by neutralising the Union's economic argument, GERS being shown to be lacking credibility, by demonstrating the fiscal strength that Scotland's already got. The Scottish deficit is largely the result of Westminster decisions, and the well-being economy will produce better outcomes for citizens and communities. It would shift the national conversation as well, away from being deficit and dependency towards confidence and capability. It would install a sense of national self-belief by highlighting Scotland's wealth in resources, talent and ambition.